Hi everyone, my name's Steven. I'm a fourth year at Case, and today I'm going to go over a sample step 1 question about the neuroendocrine control of male and female reproduction. So, for all questions, we're going to want to start off by reading the question stem. Which of the following is the most likely mechanism responsible for this patient's reproductive dysfunction? A. Impaired pulsatile secretion of GnRH from the hypothalamus. B. Excessive negative feedback from estradiol on the anterior pituitary. C. Inhibition of gonadotropin release by hyperprolactinemia. D. Pituitary infarction with loss of gonadotropes. Or E. Ovarian failure with loss of estrogen production. So, as I'm reading through these choices, I'm already starting to think about some of the diseases that these answer choices represent. So, for example, D. Pituitary infarction with loss of gonadotropes. That's leading me to think of something like a Sheehan syndrome. And so now that I have this information, I know that while I go through the question, I know what sort of diseases that I want to be ruling in or ruling out. So now let's start with reading the question. A 23-year-old woman presents with secondary amenorrhea for 8 months. She reports increasing stress related to graduate school and running 40 miles per week for marathon training. Physical exam shows a thin female with decreased body fat. Lab studies reveal low serum estradiol, luteinizing hormone, and follicle stimulating hormone. Serum prolactin and thyroid stimulating hormone are within normal limits. Pregnancy test is negative. So, as I'm reading, I'm going to want to highlight some of the things that sort of stand out to me. So, for example, 23-year-old woman, that means she's like pretty young. I think that will affect what is on our differential. Also, important to know that she has secondary amenorrhea for 8 months. So, with secondary amenorrhea, that means she previously had regular periods and now she doesn't. And that's important because if we have any causes of primary amenorrhea on our answer choices, we can rule those out. Also, reporting increasing stress, running 40 miles per week, and she's thin with decreased body fat. We look at the lab studies, we have low estradiol, LH, and FSH with normal prolactin and TSH. And she's also not pregnant. Just based on this alone, you may already know what this is, but I'll show you how to approach this question systematically if you're not really sure. So first thing, let's look at the labs. Low estradiol, low LH and FSH. So let's look at the HPO axis. We know that if estradiol is low, it can either be a problem with estradiol production or a problem with insufficient signal to produce estradiol. So here we have low LH and FSH. So that means that it's not really a problem of estradiol production. Otherwise, our LH and FSH would be really high to try to increase that level of estradiol. This means that we have to be dealing with some sort of process that's inhibiting the ability to either produce LH or FSH or insufficient signal to make LH or an FSH. So we don't really know at this point because we don't know what the GnRH looks like. But I think with that, we can now start looking at the answer choices and going sort of one by one to rule some things out. So A, impaired pulsatile secretion of GnRH from the hypothalamus. So this could be it, as we just discussed, that we have low LH and low FSH. We don't know if that there's some problem with the anterior pituitary or if we're not getting enough GnRH. So this could be it. B. Excessive negative feedback from estradiol on the anterior pituitary. So we already saw that we actually have really low estradiol. So this is probably not it. So we can rule this out. So this answer choice here is really trying to lead us to think about PCOS, where we have an overproduction of estradiol from the cystic ovaries, and that suppresses LH and FSH, thus inhibiting ovulation. C. Inhibition of gonadotropin release by hyperprolactinemia. Now, this is leading us to think about something like a prolactinoma, but if you remember, we had normal prolactin levels, so this is pretty easy to roll out. Pituitary infarction with loss of gonadotropes. So, as I talked about before, this is a possible complication of pregnancy where severe blood loss during pregnancy can lead to pituitary infarction because of inadequate blood flow. So, from our question, we don't know if this patient was previously pregnant, but we do know that she has a normal TSH, which makes this option pretty unlikely as TSH is also made in the pituitary. So, we can cross this out as well. And then E, ovarian failure with loss of estrogen production. So, we've already gone through the labs and we've ruled out that the problems with estrogen production. So it's pretty unlikely that we would have ovarian failure here because what would you expect? We'd expect to see high LH and high FSH, so we can rule out E. And so from process of elimination, we come to answer A, which is correct. So this is a classic case of functional hypothalamic amenorrhea. So in this condition, you're thinking about a young woman undergoing lots of stress, heavy exercise, and low body fat. And the mechanisms for this are not that well elucidated, but we do know that some combination of these factors can lead to impaired pulsatile secretion of GnRH, which leads to secondary amenorrhea with low GnRH, low LH-FSH, and low estradiol.